Hey guys, welcome to the Play for Life Comics FOC Show for 827. Quick explanation as to what that is. That is the final order cutoff show. What this is our last chance to adjust orders for books 3 to 5 weeks out. Um, Gives you guys a chance to add books. We focus on a very small amount of books, usually a couple dozen, but there's dozens of more every week. And the way you can access those is through previewsworld.com for most books. And if it's a DC book, it'll be through lunardistribution.com. If you go through there, my favorite way to search for these things is I'll go Lunar FOC, it'll pop right up. Um, previewsworld.com FOC, it'll pop right up. And you can see plenty of other books. So if you just got to order a run of the mill Miles Morales Spider Man number 18 or something like that for your collection, that's an easy way to do that. We leave a blank space at the bottom of our Google Docs attached in the link. And that way you can get the books you want. And if there's something you want multiple covers of, that's also a great place for that. We're kind of focused on Marvel and DC this week for various reasons, and we will jump right into it and get started. And we do ask that you get orders in by Saturday afternoon. That gives us a chance to make the orders. And we do offer 20% off on the single issue comics, and we will ship. So if you're a part of our sales show, we do 3 live sales shows a week on Facebook and YouTube, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. We can combine shipping with that stuff. You can reach out to us. We can give you more shipping info. If you're an out of towner and you don't have a local LCS, or you're not happy with your LCS, we'll see what we can do for you. So, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it today. From Image Comics, I'm kind of excited about this one. I like horror stuff. This is Creepshow number 1 of 5. If you're familiar with the old movie from the 80s, Stephen King, and I believe it had Bernie Wright's in art originally. There was a comic book, well, it was a prestige format book, and also the movie. A little known fact, if you watch the Creepshow movie, early on, the kid reading comic books in the bed at the beginning of the movie is actually Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, who's kind of a big author now. So, and looks just like eerily like his father. Like it's like uncanny. So great Chris Burnham A cover there. Kind of harkens back to that Bernie Wrightson style, which I'm a big fan of. You got a Declan Shelby cover coming soon. Again, there's previewsworld.com. Great time to write that down. And a blank sketch cover. These are all coming out 9/21, so that'd be September 21st. So yeah, about a month out. Vanish. This is another Image book, and it's got that '90s look because Ryan Stegman. The guy kind of looks like the Darkness, old Image stuff.
And then Donnie Cates is writing this book also.
So you got Donnie Cates with Ryan Stegman art, and so what it is this guy, as a child, he vanquished a great evil, and now as an adult, he's not sure if things he's seeing in his dreams are bad dreams or memories or possible premonitions of things that he has coming to deal with. So Donnie Cates is he's been the hot horror writer lately, so definitely worth checking out. Or not necessarily horror, but he's a big writer, so definitely worth checking out. You got the Daniel Warren Johnson B cover. Of course, this guy's well known for Murder Falcon, that Wonder Woman Black Label book. He also did DC Jurassic League, which is the Justice League as dinosaurs, which is kind of interesting. But he's got kind of a more indie web comic style art style there. Got a blank sketch for that one. Now that cons are back, they're putting a blank sketch on everything again. Earth Divers. Now this one is pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to reading this. This is IDW. They've been kind of doubling down on their independent titles. They're really well known for My Little Ponies, G.I. Joes, Transformers, that kind of thing. But they've really been doubling down on their indie stuff, and some of it's been pretty good. So what this one is about is the world has ended, post-apocalyptic, all that, and the people that are left have come up with that they think America as an institution it was kind of the seed point of that, right? So what they've decided to do is to go back in time and kill Columbus.
And somehow they just happened to have found a time portal in a cave.
Yeah,
that's going to allow them to do this.
And if you guys are, me and Hansel here both are kind of history buffs. So he was a history teacher for years. Columbus never even made it to the United States, but yeah, I'll suspend belief for a little bit. And so they go back. You do have a wicked Raphael Albuquerque cover there with the face and the skull and the three ships. And so they go back to kill Columbus, and they don't know. It turns out it could be harder than they expected. And then what are the repercussions of killing Columbus? This has been explored in many storylines.
Oh, yeah. Is it going to fix it, or is it actually going to make it worse?
Make things worse. Who knows, right? What it could open the doors for. So there you go. Earth Divers number 1, out 10/5/22. Got a Maria Wolf, who's been kind of a hot artist as of late. B cover there. David Gianfelice. Sorry if I'm butchering these names, guys. I really like this one. It's got kind of that pulp. I collect a lot of pulps. It's got that kind of like soft pulp painted style to it that I really like. Christian Ward D cover there. On to Tmnt, Saturday Morning Adventures number 1. Also out 10/5/22. What's interesting about this is, as a comic store owner, I get people coming in all the time with their kids and they go, ooh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The main Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a mature reader's line and always has been. It is not for kids. It was a kids cartoon for many years. They've had kids comics, but in the last 5-6 years since I've been in business, they've not had a lot of kids comics. This is a all ages TMNT line, so I'm kind of excited about that. We'll probably order them heavy for our kids section, because kids.
We always have people also looking for the older children's when they're
the
always,
Archie stuff.
Yeah, as fast as we get them,
they're gone.
Yeah, I'm up.
And because of that, now they have some value to them, and the people that look for them for that reason don't want to pay the money. But yeah, so having a TMNT kids comic, I think, will be a good thing, and I think it's something they probably should always have. But that's just me. Tim Lottie A cover. You got a Kevin Eastman B cover. He never disappoints. He's the original artist. And a Tony Gregori C cover there. Very reminiscent of the early cartoon stuff. AXE Avengers number 1. This is a one-shot as a part of the Avengers X-Men Eternals crossover stuff with a Nick Klein A cover. This is Tony Stark is trying to infiltrate a Celestial. Something to do with his armor, though, right?
Yeah, if you remember the last, I guess it would be two Avengers series ago. Remember, that's what Avengers headquarters was. It was the old shell of a Celestial.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's harkening back to that, and he's going to try to find some of the secrets, I guess, of the armor of a Celestial.
All right, that shows how much Marvel I read. I definitely lean more toward DC and Independence. So you got Salvador LaRocca B cover there. And Edge of Spider-Verse 2 second print. Lubera cover. Of course, these have been jumping off the shelves because they've all been first appearances and they've all had great covers. I think 2 had there might have been a Sequitz cover on that one. I may be mixing them up, but there you go. Logan Libera B cover on that. Marvel Voices Community. This will be focusing on the Latinx superheroes. So you have Nova, America Chavez, White Tiger, Miles Morales, Lucas Wernick, a cover there. And nice to see that it's not another $9.99 book. It's a $5.99. They're bringing it back into some normal prices there. Phil Jimenez B cover, so a bunch of Hispanic artists on these. Paco Medina design variant. Chico Chico. Hopefully I didn't butcher that one. D cover there. On to Miles Morales Spider-Man number 42. So I'm not a big Miles Morales reader, but apparently 42 is a very significant number with Miles Morales. So there's a blue million covers on this one, and it kind of threw me off. I didn't know why.
Yeah, it's an oversized issue.
Oversized, kind of a anniversary issue. Well, what I find interesting that 42 is significant to him. If anybody's a Douglas Adams fan and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and that whole series of books, 42 is the answer to all the questions of the universe. It's the questions to I think it's everything, the universe, and I forget how they word it, but it is very significant in Douglas Adams' kind of comedic sci-fi stuff. So you got a great Tor and Clark A cover there with tarot cards. Christopher Allen B cover. Leonardo Romero. This is also Marvel Voices cover there. I like kind of more simplistic design style there. And the Brian Stelfreeze Miracle Man variant. Predator number 1, second print, Salvador LaRocca cover. If you didn't read it, it was a good story. I think it's definitely setting up to be a good series there. So, Star Wars Mandalorian number 2, second print, Grogu television variant. Great photo cover there. Like how they did the color border to kind of match him. It's kind of cool. Thor 27. This is Thor Venom crossover. Of course, that doesn't happen too often. You got a great Nick Klein A cover. Raza Predator variant. This one, wish I could zoom it in for you. You can do that on your own, but it is just a cool looking detail on the Predator and his teeth and all that. It's just really cool looking. So
and to keep Brandon from that, having to answer the question, no, Thor does not fight Predator in this book.
It drives me crazy with these books because we get a lot of non-comic people in our store. Just where our setting, we're on a street where a lot of people walk around with their family. They come in, they check things out, and they always go, "Oh, is this Thor versus Predator?" and I will have to answer 92 times that it is not, but still a great cover. Patrick Zurcher C cover there. Thunderbolts number 2. This is the origin of
Egro the Unbreakable.
Egro the Unbreakable. So big villain there. This is kind of got he's very Kirby Monster-esque in that picture. Kind of a throwback to the 60s stuff, Tales to Astonish and whatnot. Stefano Caselli trading card variant. Not my favorite picture of America Chavez, but do like the colors in the background. Betsy Cola Pride variant. Mateus Manhani D variant there. All right, here's the big one. This week we got Detective Comics 27 facsimile. They're finally doing facsimiles of books I think they should do facsimiles of. So here you got Action Comics number 1, what started the whole superhero trend in 1938. First appearance of Superman, reprinted, $7. And some about this, because this book's the same. I've read them both. I've read Detectives and Action Comics number 1. What like a lot of the guys that were working with us tonight did not realize, and I'll pull it out. It's kind of interesting. So these books were anthology books. What I mean by that is there's multiple stories and you get all the original ads. There you go. You can buy a printing press for $2.98 off the back of this thing back in the day. So the Batman story in Detective Comics 27 literally only takes up about 8 pages. And you got 10 or 12 other stories. There's a Western. There's one, Cosmo, the Phantom of Disguise, that looks very stereotypically racist against Asians. There's all kinds of stuff in here that's, there's multiple stories. You got more of a very cartoony thing. There's a Western. There's a little bit of all kinds of stuff in here, but they were anthology books. So the Superman story, if I remember, only takes up about 10 pages. But this reprints the whole thing. So you get that experience of what you would have read picking this up in June of 1938. So there you go. Batman Beyond the White Knight. We got this one up here because it's not really a key, but it does have a great J. Scott Campbell B cover there of Harley Quinn, kind of more of a throwback outfit, really. You don't see her covered up that much anymore these days. World's Finest number 7. Dan Mora A cover. So this one's interesting. Apparently, early on in Superman's career, he had a sidekick named Thunderboy that they never really used much. And this is his origin. And
supposedly it's never been used at all. So
this is the first appearance.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're going to
retcon and throw him in there. All right. But you do get a great Middleton B cover there. You got Metropolis and Gotham kind of on either side of I forget what they call that, but it's kind of their Lady Liberty thing. Batman Audio Adventures 1 of 7. They did a one-shot sometime back. This is all based off the Batman podcast, which I'm a Batman fan. I tried to get into the book and the podcast. It just didn't sit that great with me, but could get a good story out of there. Great Dave Johnson cover. DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, and this is written by Bruce Campbell. Ash from the Evil Dead. He was also in every Sam Raimi movie ever, including all the Spider-Mans and all that. If you remember a little Spider-Man history, he was the referee in the boxing match that Spider-Man was in right before his uncle died. So,
all the way up to, what was he, the hot dog vendor in the most recent Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Remember, because Doctor Strange made him start hitting himself.
Yes. And he was in there. Yeah, he was all the way in the end. It was in one of the cut credit scenes. Got a great Francesco Francavilla cardstock B cover. I love Francavilla's it's got a golden age feel to it when he does stuff. Death of Superman 30th anniversary special. Of course, Death of Superman, kind of known as what the comic book that may or may not have killed the comic industry in the 90s, because they overprinted them and it was such a big thing. Everybody thought they'd get rich off of it, but they are doing, and there is a new Doomsday. It's called Doombreaker. Kind of a bigger, better Doomsday that Superman and John Kent, the new Superman, are going to have to go up against. So you got kind of some throwback imagery from a lot of the covers from that time on a wraparound. Death of Superman, this is the Ivan Reyes, Danny Miki Funeral for a Friend cover, with as many characters as they can jam into one cover right there.
And that's always something you like, a lot of characters on.
I do. This one's a little busy though. This one's kind of packed in there. This is probably my favorite. This is the Francesco Matina Doomsday die cut cover. Just a great cover. I'm curious to see what the die cut is going to be. But yeah, just great looking cover. Very gruesome. Rafael Sarmiento Doombreaker cover. I guess this is the new Doomsday there in the background. Not familiar with the artist, but definitely is a cool looking cover. Harley Quinn 22. Of course, they've been knocking it out of the park. They only got one cover for this one, which is odd, right?
No, that was Catwoman.
Oh, never mind. Sorry,
that wasn't
I'm
on
wrong.
FOC.
Harley Quinn 22, you got they're switching up some of the artists. They've been doing a lot of Souza Micah and Jeff DeCalls lately. This is Matteo Loli. Stepan Sejic, great Eastern European artist with the hyenas there. Natalie Sanders, just killer cover here. She usually does store exclusive stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not used to her doing regular order covers. So there you go. You got 3 great ones there. And then the Ryan Sook homage cover to Dark Knight Returns #1. Of course, these have been just great flying off the shelves. We had the Killing Joke one this week. Human Target, #7 of 12. Good looking Greg Smallwood cover, kind of a throwback, looks like an old movie poster. This is the main one we're focusing on. This is the art germ of Fire. If you remember, he did an ice one probably about a year ago. And
I think it might have been #1 even.
Yeah, and they were always kind of teamed up together in JLA back in the 80s and 90s. So Tim Drake Robin #1, new series altogether, right?
And a new villain.
All right. Got a Lopez Ortiz A cover there. Jorge Jimenez 1 year later. I kind of like that one. David Baldion, Harley Quinn 30th anniversary cover. She's kind of pulling a Wile E. Coyote kind of move there. Eddie Barrett. Oh, sorry. This is a new book. This is Titans United Blood Pack #1. And this one has something to do with Raven.
It's the first appearance of what's going to be called the Church of Ravens. And supposedly, I think it's once again Tim Drake wakes up, sort of out of costume in the middle of nowhere, doesn't know what happened, how he got there. And I think it has something to do with the resurrection and a little bit of all that kind of stuff in it.
Okay, kind of a classic amnesia storyline, I'm sure, too. But you got a great Derek Chew Raven cover. I think this is a new outfit for her. And just great Derek Chew. I like Derek Chew's stuff, but this one's better than most. So, Jorge Molina Hispanic Heritage Month cover. Great with the Mexican flag and the eagle imagery in the background there. And that's it for us today, guys. We do appreciate you joining us. Do get these orders in. Use that Google Docs sheet right there that we put in the link. Get the orders in by Saturday afternoon, and we'll have these books held aside for you here 3 to 5 weeks when they come out. We do appreciate it. Check out our shows Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and we will catch you next time. Y'all have a safe week out there.